Four young people secretly climbed into a pristine cave in the mountains of Guiyang, China. An unexpected slip during their exploration extinguished their only candle, plunging them into absolute darkness. Over 40 days passed, and they still could not grope their way to the exit, ultimately collapsing one by one. On the voice-setting day, voices suddenly echoed from the cave entrance. One of them used the last of their fading strength to cry for help, to hear terrified screams fading into the distance. This is the subject of today's story. The fatal treasure hunting expedition at White Tiger Cave. This is a typical karst cave. The entire structure is divided into countless large halls that do not lie on a single flat plane, but are connected only by narrow holes. The cave is an intricate maze interlaced with fractured cliffs, underground rivers, and countless intersections. The temperature inside hovers at around 10 degrees Celsius year-round, making it both damp and freezing, except for the area near the entrance that catches a faint glimmer of light. The deeper you go, the more pitch black it becomes. Underfoot lie hidden deep pits. A moment of carelessness will result in a fatal fall. Without lighting equipment, it is almost impossible to grope your way out. Legend has it that at the end of the Ming Dynasty, this was the hidden treasure vault of the Song chieftain Shuidong. It was this very myth that was about to lead four young people into this dark labyrinth. At noon on May 2nd, 1998, the four youths found the cave entrance. Leading the way was Xiao Sun, a male vocational student at Teachers College. Following him were three female students, Xiao Li and her two classmates, Xiao Lan and Xiao Zhang. A few days prior, they had decided to explore White Tiger Cave for treasure. They all snuck away without telling their families. Absolutely no one knew they were there. The entrance was incredibly low, requiring them to crouch and back in to enter. Now the four were professional explorers, and their equipment was pitifully inadequate. Xiao Sun's gear, 2 candles, a box of matches, and a piece of chalk. The girls' gear, small bags containing a few packets of biscuits and 2 sausages each. All of their food combined was not even enough for a single full meal. Seeing the cold, gloomy environment before them, Xiao Wan hesitated, suggesting they just look around the entrance and leave. But someone else argued that since they were already there, they might as well go in. Perhaps they would actually find the treasure. Thus, the four went into the cave one after another. Once inside, Xiao Sun lit a candle. The firelight illuminated the cave walls for the first time, revealing bizarrely shaped stalactites hanging from the ceiling and stalagmites rising from the ground, intricately intertwined. The young people marveled at the magical find while continuing deeper inside. Along the way, Xiao Sun used his chalk to draw arrows on the rock walls as markers, assuming they could just follow them on their way out. After drawing an arrow at the entrance of a hall, Xiao Sun held up the candle, intending to lead everyone to see the underground river. Right at that moment, he slipped. The candle fell from his hand, the flame went out, and the cave instantly plunged into total darkness. Xiao Sun hurriedly felt around for his matchbox to relight the candle. However, the humidity in White Tiger Cave is over 90% year-round, remaining near saturation. Throughout their hike, the match head had continuously absorbed moisture from the air, and were now completely ruined. He struck match after match, but not a single one lit. The last source of light was lost just like that. Xiao Sun tried to stay calm, instructing everyone to hold hands, and rely on their memories to make their way back out. The chalk arrows he had drawn were actually right on the surrounding walls, but without light, they were completely invisible, and rendered utterly useless. They thought they were walking in a straight line, but in reality, they were just walking in circles within the same hall. More fatally, in a completely dark environment, humans lose all spatial orientation. Studies show that without visual reference points, people fundamentally cannot walk in a straight line. The slightest discrepancy in strength between the two sides of the body will cause you to unconsciously veer off course, eventually forming a circle. Meanwhile, the crucial tunnel opening leading back to the second hall was situated on a cliff that required climbing, with an opening only half a meter high. In absolute darkness and extreme panic, they walked past it time and time again without knowing. Their constant groping in the dark rapidly drained their physical strength. On the very first day, they ate all the food they had brought. With zero wilderness experience, they were completely unaware of the need to ration their supplies. The 10 degrees Celsius environment combined with near 100% humidity made the perceived temperature feel much colder. Without wanting equipment or food to provide calories, their core body temperature steadily dropped. Under the dual blow of cold and hunger, Human cognition becomes increasingly sluggish, and judgment continuously declines, creating a vicious cycle. Without light or the concept of day and night, they completely lost their sense of time and direction. In the days that followed, they argued, cried, and comforted each other, continuing to blindly crawl forward. Fortunately, water dripped from the stalactites on the ceiling. This water, filtered through layers of limestone, contained minerals like calcium and magnesium. While far from a meal, it at least sustained the most basic vital signs. An unknown number of days passed. Xiao Zhang missed a step and fell into a vertical 5-meter deep pit. Zhao Sun took off his belt, laying flat by the edge to try and pull her up. But in the pure darkness, he couldn't even see where her hand was. The belt dangled by the edge of the pit for a long time, but there was no response from below. Some time later, Xiao Sun, who had always taken the lead in scouting the way and expended the most energy, sat down to rest, and never stood up again. Eventually the only ones left who could move were the two girls, Xiao Li and Xiao Wang. What kept them alive was the water dripping from the stalactites. Drop by drop in the darkness, the sound of this water became their only way to perceive time. After they had been trapped for 42 days, another group of 4 young people visited White Tiger Cave. They had just climbed into the first hall, and hadn't even gotten a good look at the stalactites, when they heard a hank sound, panicking. The 4 haphazardly shone their flashlights around, but saw no one. Terrified, they screamed and ran for their lives toward the exit. After climbing out, a brave boy in the group calmed down, and suggested that if someone inside was truly in distress, abandoning them could cost a life. Persuaded by him, the 4 mustered their courage and returned. Back inside, they searched carefully with their flashlights. Deep inside the hall, they discovered 2 silhouettes. One girl, reduced to skin and bones, lay face down on the ground, breathing feebly. Not far away was another girl whose breathing was so faint it seemed it could stop at any moment. They immediately called the police, and rescue operations were swiftly launched. The 2 were rushed to the hospital, but 42 days of extreme starvation, dehydration, and organ failure were irreversible. Xiao Wen passed away on the very day she was rescued. Xiao Li woke up briefly after being hospitalized, and even cooperated with the police to record a statement, but she ultimately did not survive either. Based on Xiao Li's final account, the rescue team found the bodies of their 2 remaining companions deeper inside the cave. In the end, all 4 young people who entered White Tiger Cave perished. Later, a professional exploration team fully surveyed White Tiger Cave and mapped out the only path leading to the entrance. They discovered that the spot where Xiao Li finally collapsed was a mere 8 meters away from that half-meter-high exit opening. 8 meters. If they had light, it would have taken just a few strides across. Instead, they were forced to crawl in the darkness for 42 agonizing days.